The tattrntt noise, the rhythmic hum of processing servers, was the only sound in the communication facility's observation deck as Dr. Maya Reeves massaged her temples, fighting off another migraine. For 6 months, she'd been stationed on Ceres, the largest asteroid in the belt between Mars and Jupiter, working as the lead senolinguist for the Deep Space Communication Array. Her job was simple in theory: listen for signals from the stars and determine if any might be artificial in origin. The facility had been built here, far from Earth's electromagnetic noise, to detect the faintest whispers from distant stars. Maya had volunteered for the assignment partly to escape the crushing disappointment of her failed marriage, but mostly because she believed, with an almost religious fervor, that humanity wasn't alone in the cosmos. "You're still here." "It's nearly 300, Dr. Reeves," said Security Officer Diaz, making his rounds. "Don't you ever sleep?" Maya smiled weakly. "There's something in this data, Georgie. I can feel it." Diaz shook his head. "The machines would have flagged anything unusual. That's what they're programmed to do. Machines only find what they're told to look for," Maya replied, turning back to her holographic display where streams of stellar radiation data flowed in complex patterns. "But what if there's something we've never thought to look for? Something hiding in plain sight?" After Diaz left, Maya adjusted her neural interface, a thin band that wrapped around her skull, allowing direct interaction with the station's quantum computers. She had personally written algorithms that processed stellar radiation in ways no one else had considered, treating the cosmic background radiation not as random noise, but as potential language fragments. The holographic display suddenly flickered, then stabilized into a new pattern, one she'd never seen before. Maya leaned forward, her heart racing. Something was emerging from the noise. A repeating sequence of energy fluctuations from the direction of Sagittarius A*, the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way. "Computer, isolate this pattern and enhance," she commanded. The sequence expanded across her display. Mathematical in nature, too precise to be natural. Maya ran it through every known astronomical phenomenon database. No matches. This wasn't a pulsar, not stellar flares, not any known cosmic process. The pattern contained embedded symmetries and self-referential structures that resembled the fundamental properties of a language. "My God," she whispered. "You're trying to talk to us, aren't you?" "Absolutely not," said Director Harmon, his holographic projection looking even more stern than when he delivered reprimands in person from Earth. "The Baumgartner Conference is in 2 weeks, and you want me to tell the United Earth Space Agency that our top xenolinguist thinks she's found alien signals coming from the galactic center." Maya stood her ground in the virtual meeting space. "Sir, I've analyzed this pattern for 3 weeks now. It repeats with mathematical precision that cannot be explained by natural phenomena. Dr. Chen from Princeton reviewed your data. She says it's just interference from quantum fluctuations near the black hole's event horizon. Chen hasn't even looked at my processing algorithms. She's applying conventional analysis to unconventional data." Harmon sighed, the sound distorting slightly through the quantum entanglement communication system. "Maya, you're one of our best, but you've been isolated out there for months. Perhaps it's affecting your judgment." After the meeting ended, Maya paced her small quarters, frustration building. 6 years of specialized training in theoretical xenolinguistics, 3 doctorates, and a revolutionary approach to pattern recognition, all dismissed because her discovery didn't fit neatly into established theory. A soft chime from her personal terminal interrupted her thoughts. An encrypted message from an unknown sender. "Not everyone thinks you're crazy. Meet me in VR Lab 3. 2200 hours. VR Lab 3 was officially offline for maintenance. Maya entered using her override codes, finding herself in a simulated forest clearing. A tall, lanky man with a shock of red hair waited there, his avatar slightly translucent around the edges, the mark of someone connecting remotely. "Dr. Levi Okafor," he introduced himself with a slight bow. "Quantum computing specialist. UESA Research Division, Earth. You're taking a risk contacting me, Maya said. So are you, accessing a restricted lab. His smile was infectious. I've been following your work. Your approach to treating cosmic radiation as potential linguistic fragments is inspired. And you believe me about the signal. I've independently verified your findings. There's definitely something there. Levy's avatar waved a hand, generating a complex 3D model of Maya's data. But I think you've only scratched the surface. I have access to experimental quantum processing algorithms that might help decode more of it. Maya studied him cautiously. Why help me? Why risk your career? Because, Leva said, his expression turning serious, if you're right, this is the most important discovery in human history. And I don't think knowledge like that should be buried because it's inconvenient. For the next 2 weeks, Maya and Levy worked in secret. They established a secure quantum-encrypted channel between Ceres and Earth, allowing them to share data without detection. Levy's algorithms were revolutionary. Analyzing the signal in 11-dimensional space revealed structures invisible in conventional 3-dimensional analysis. It's like an onion, Levi explained during one late-night session. Each layer references the one beneath it. Self-similar patterns repeating across scales. A fractal language. Maya breathed. On the 13th day, they had their breakthrough. Maya was running a comparative analysis between the signal and fundamental physical constants when the pattern suddenly resolved into something recognizable. Levy, she whispered, I need you to verify something. She sent him the latest analysis. His avatar froze for several seconds, the lag of real human shock transferring across the quantum connection. That's impossible, he finally said. The signal contained embedded within it the exact mathematical formulas describing the physical constants of the universe, the gravitational constant, the speed of light, Planck's constant, but with minuscule variations, as if they were parameters that could be adjusted. It's not a message, Maya said, her voice trembling. It's source code, the fundamental equations that govern reality. But that would mean that our universe is engineered, designed. Maya completed his thought. And someone or something is maintaining it, making adjustments. Within the signal, they discovered something even more startling. Timestamps. Periods when the constants have been minutely adjusted throughout cosmic history, coinciding precisely with major evolutionary leaps on Earth and other potentially habitable worlds. They've been guiding us, Maya realized, nudging evolution in specific directions across the galaxy. The implications were staggering. Not only was humanity not alone, but everything they understood about natural evolution and cosmic development was only partially correct. The universe itself appeared to be an engineered system, and life was developing according to some vast experimental protocol. We need to go public with this, Maya decided. The whole world needs to know. That might not be wise, Levi cautioned. Think about it. Religions, governments, everything would be thrown into chaos. People deserve the truth, Maya insisted. That night, she prepared a comprehensive data package with their findings, ready to transmit to multiple scientific institutions simultaneously. She had just initiated the encryption sequence when the power in her quarters cut out. The emergency lights cast an eerie red glow as Maya heard the hiss of her door being forced open. 3 figures in unmarked black exosuits entered, their faces hidden behind polarized visors. Dr. Maya Reeves, the leader stated flatly, your access to all communication systems has been revoked. You are hereby detained under Section 15 of the Space Security Act for unauthorized access of restricted data systems. Who are you people? Maya demanded, instinctively grabbing her neural interface from the charging station. That's classified, the leader replied, advancing toward her. Now please come with us quietly. Maya lunged for the ventilation shaft she'd identified weeks earlier as a potential emergency exit, slipping into it just as stun rounds impacted the wall behind her. Crawling through the narrow maintenance tunnels, She made her way toward the facility's auxiliary communication center. She needed to warn Levi, needed to preserve their discovery. Whatever she had found, someone powerful wanted it buried. As she reached the auxiliary control room, her neural interface chimed with an incoming message, somehow bypassing the facility's communications blackout. The text unfurled directly into her visual cortex. "We have observed your discovery. You are not the first, but you may be the last with time to prepare. They are coming." A massive data packet followed, flooding Maya's neural interface with information so complex and dense that she collapsed to her knees, blood trickling from her nose as her mind struggled to process it. Through the overwhelming stream of data, one clear message emerged. The system administrators had detected an anomaly, and they were coming to reset the experiment. REWRI. Maya woke to the steady beeping of medical equipment. She was in a moving vehicle. The subtle vibrations and engine hum suggested a long-range transport. Her neural interface had been removed, leaving a dull ache where it normally connected to her implants. "Welcome back to the land of the living," said a familiar voice. Levi sat beside her, his normally cheerful face drawn with concern. "You've been unconscious for almost 3 days. Where are we?" Maya's voice was hoarse. "Somewhere over the Pacific. Untraceable transport." He helped her sit up. "After you were compromised, I activated contingency protocols. Called in some favors from people who owe me. People who believe in freedom of information. The Nexus Collective," Maya realized, referring to the infamous network of hackers and information freedom fighters. Levi nodded. "Among others. Your discovery has friends in high places who want it protected." "The data packet," Maya began, "is intact. Your neural interface buffered it before you collapsed. We've extracted it." Levi handed her a small crystalline cube, though no one's been able to make sense of it yet. Maya took the cube, and memories flooded back, not just of receiving the data, but of understanding fragments of it. Somehow, the alien communication had partially restructured her neural pathways, creating new connections that allowed her mind to process information in ways no human had before. "They're called the architects," she said softly. "The beings who engineer our galaxy, and the ones coming to reset everything. They're called guardians. System maintenance protocols designed to eliminate anomalies." Levi stared at her. "How do you know this?" "I just know." Maya pressed her fingers to her temples. "The data is in my head now, reorganizing itself. And there's more. We're not the first civilization to discover the truth. Others have before us. And they were all reset, erased from existence when they reached this point of awareness." "Reset how?" "Total molecular disassembly. The Guardians can manipulate fundamental forces. They simply unbind everything. Buildings, people, entire civilizations, reduced to constituent atoms." Levy's face paled. "How long do we have?" 73 days. The number came to Maya with absolute certainty. "That's when they'll reach our solar system." The safe house was a converted bunker beneath an abandoned mining facility in the Australian outback. Inside, a small team of scientists, engineers, and hackers had gathered. People Levy trusted, people willing to believe the impossible. Dr. Isabel Chen, quantum physicist. Rahim Nazari, AI systems architect. Colonel Sarah Okonkwo, former UESA security forces, and half a dozen others, all experts in their fields, all drawn by the same conviction, that humanity deserved a chance to survive. "The problem," Maya explained to the assembled group, projecting her neural reconstructions of the alien data, "is that we can't fight them conventionally. The Guardians exist partially outside our dimensional framework. They operate on principles we barely understand. So we're just supposed to accept extinction." Colonel Okonkwo demanded. "No," Maya replied, her voice steady. "We're going to change the rules of the game." The alien data contained more than just warnings. It held fragments of the architect's technology. Not weapons, but something more fundamental. methods for manipulating the underlying fabric of reality itself. The architects designed the universe as a complex system for evolving consciousness, Maya explained. Each galaxy is an experiment with slightly different parameters. The Guardians are simply maintenance protocols. They don't actually think or reason. They respond to specific triggers. One civilization discovering the truth. That's an acceptable anomaly. But if that knowledge spreads, the experiment is considered contaminated. So we need to hide our knowledge? Asked Rahim. No, said Maya. We need to evolve beyond their parameters. Become something they can't simply erase. Over the next several weeks, as news of approaching anomalies spread through classified channels and governments worldwide began secret preparations, Maya's team worked to build something unprecedented, a global consciousness network. Using quantum entanglement principles derived from the alien data, they designed a system that could temporarily link human minds across vast distances, not to share thoughts, but to create a collective field of consciousness powerful enough to interact directly with the fundamental code of reality. It's like trying to speak to the programmer from inside the program, Maya explained during a global leadership briefing that had been hastily assembled as the truth became impossible to hide. We need to reach beyond the simulation. To everyone's surprise, when faced with extinction, humanity unified with unprecedented speed. Ancient enemies pooled resources and knowledge. Religious leaders and scientists found common ground in the face of cosmic revelations. The consciousness network expanded rapidly, nodes established in every major population center. 52 days after Maya's discovery, the first Guardian was detected crossing the orbit of Neptune. Conventional defenses, hastily assembled based on Maya's insights, fired upon it, only to have their energy weapons passed harmlessly through its non-Euclidean geometry. They exist partially outside our dimensional framework, Maya reminded the Global Defense Council. Conventional weapons can't affect something that isn't fully here. The Guardians' approach accelerated. 7 of them now, moving with impossible speed toward Earth. Their presence distorted space-time itself, causing gravitational anomalies throughout the solar system. Mars' colony went dark first, then the lunar outposts. Not destroyed, simply disconnected from reality, quarantined in dimensional bubbles where time stood still. With just 3 days remaining before the Guardians reached Earth, Maya made a final, desperate decision. The network isn't enough, she told Livre as they worked feverishly in the primary control center beneath Geneva. It needs a focus point, someone who can directly interface with their level of reality. What are you saying? Levy asked, though his expression showed he already understood. The data didn't just teach me about them, Maya explained. It changed me, rewired my brain. I'm already partially interfacing with their reality framework. She managed a small smile. I think that's why they sent it to me specifically. They've been watching, waiting for someone who could understand. There has to be another way. Levy's voice broke. Maybe there is, but we don't have time to find it. 3 miles beneath the Swiss Alps, the central node of the consciousness network hummed with power. 3 billion people worldwide were connected simultaneously, creating the largest shared consciousness experience in human history. At the center of the node chamber, Maya sat within a specially designed interface chair, her mind already partially merged with the network. Neural probes extended from the crown-like apparatus on her head, directly connecting her altered consciousness to the quantum field generators surrounding her. Activation in 60 seconds, announced the automated system. Levy gripped her hand. Maya. It's okay, she said, her voice strangely calm. I finally understand why I always felt so drawn to the stars. Why I could see patterns no one else could. Her eyes met his. I was meant to be here. At this moment, the countdown reached 0. The consciousness network activated, linking billions of human minds into a temporary collective. Within this unprecedented mental union, Maya functioned as the cornerstone, channeling her uniquely altered consciousness outward. Outside Earth's atmosphere, The Guardian machines paused as they encountered resistance beyond their programming parameters. The collective human consciousness, focused through Maya's transformed mind, manifested as a bubble of altered reality encompassing the planet, a temporary haven where the laws of physics bent to humanity's collective will. Within the control center, Maya's body convulsed as her consciousness expanded beyond its physical boundaries. Blood trickled from her eyes and ears as her mind reached toward the fundamental structure of reality itself. "I see them," she whispered, her voice carrying to the billions connected to the network. "The architects. They're beautiful." Through Maya's transformed perception, humanity glimpsed the architects for the first time. Beings of pure mathematics and energy, existing in dimensions beyond human comprehension. Creators of galaxies, shapers of reality itself. "We are the anomaly that wasn't supposed to happen." Maya communicated directly to them, her consciousness stretching across dimensional barriers. "But we deserve to exist. We deserve to grow." For 17 heartbeats, nothing happened. Then reality itself seemed to shudder. The Guardians froze in place, their programming conflicted by commands beyond their parameters. In the control center, monitoring equipment exploded in cascades of sparks as reality fluctuated. Maya's body arched in the interface chair, energy crackling around her as her mind served as a conduit between dimensions. "They're listening," she gasped, blood now flowing freely from her nose and eyes. "They're curious." Through the network, billions felt it, a presence vast beyond comprehension, examining humanity with something akin to surprise. Not malevolent, not benevolent. Simply beyond such concepts. Engineers watching over galaxies, finding an unexpected development in one small experiment. The choice, Maya conveyed through the network, her physical body beginning to lose cohesion as the energies flowing through her proved too much for human physiology to contain. "They're giving us a choice." The options rippled through the collective consciousness. Remain as they were, memories of the truth erased, continuing as an unaware experiment. Or ascend, accept the knowledge and responsibility that came with it, becoming conscious participants in the cosmic design rather than unwitting subjects. In that moment of collective decision, humanity chose. Maya smiled as her physical form began to dissolve, particles of light replacing flesh. "We're not just subjects anymore," she whispered to Levi. "We're co-creators now." The Guardians withdrew, their programming updated with new parameters. Humanity had evolved beyond the experiment's original design, becoming something the architects themselves had not anticipated. Not merely conscious beings, but beings conscious of the nature of reality itself and capable of affecting it. Maya's physical form completely transformed into pure energy, merging with the network, and through it, with the collective consciousness of humanity. Not gone, but evolved, the first of a new kind of existence. As the network slowly deactivated and billions of people returned to their individual consciousnesses, they carried with them fragments of understanding, and the certainty that the universe had fundamentally changed. In the control center, Levi stared at the empty interface chair where Maya had sat, tears streaming down his face. But mingled with his grief was wonder, for he could still feel her presence, not gone, but transformed, existing now as part of something greater. "We're not alone anymore," her voice seemed to whisper from everywhere and nowhere. "And we never have been." Across Earth, humans looked to the stars with new eyes. The universe was vaster and stranger than they had ever imagined. But now, for the first time, they were conscious participants in its unfolding story. And somewhere beyond conventional reality, the architects observed with something that might almost be called pride.